Cotalia, Pensamendamentos de la Livre 22. I'm Queen Cotalia, the Hoodoo Queen. Bienvenue sur mon chien. Welcome to my channel. In this video today, we are going to be discussing what the differences are between Vodou, Voodoo, Vodun, and Hoodoo, how they are not the same, and how they even came to be. Truth to what they actually are. But before we get into all of this, I want to encourage you to subscribe to this channel, give this video a thumbs up, leave a sweet kind comment below, and share the video. I would love to hear your responses. Now, before we get into all of that juicy stuff, I need to remind you, sign up for this month's community service. We are removing our enemies. When I tell you, we are banishing them. We are absolutely, aggressively, without remorse, removing our enemies. They have no life in our life. They have no stance on the earth that we stand upon. And they will be quickly and aggressively removed. You will receive a banishing mixture if you so choose. We also will be doing the steady money lamp to keep things coming in right now. You just finished paying for school things and football coming up and homecoming, all kinds of shenanigans, and you need to keep that money flowing in, especially with the holidays coming up around the corner. So there's that. Now you have the option of just doing the candle service or lamp service, doing the individual service, or doing them as a bundle. And if you do them as a bundle, then you actually will be getting a Zoom link to watch me do your blessing live, working with that lamp. Okay? You have until the 18th. Is it the 18th, I believe? Yes, you have until the 18th. I don't know if I'm posting this on Saturday or Sunday. So Sunday is the last day, and the ritual goes down on Monday. I will send the Zoom link no later than an hour prior to the service. D'accord? Merci beaucoup. I also want to remind you that this weekend, the Cotalia Soundtrack Experience, this Friday, you all listen, I don't ask for much, but I would ask you to come to this event. You would thoroughly enjoy yourself. Purchase your ticket online or in person. Advance tickets are $15. At the door, they are $20. We also have the Working Ritual Weekend. Witch Mama, Madam Eliza, myself, we will be here providing exactly all the things you need to know as this up-and-coming season is coming into fruition, as we're being greeted with the will of the year, with these new moons, and the list goes on and on. Also got to remind you, we do full moon circles here and wind down yoga. Don't miss out. But let's get into this topic. Listen, I had to come on and go ahead and make this part very clear because, I keep my mouth closed for a lot of things that I see, but I'm seeing a lot of BS about my religion, and let me make that part very clear as well. I am not speaking from a space of my opinion and my feelings and my thoughts, and y'all know that I don't do that. Like, I just will not do it. If I don't know it, then I don't talk about it. I don't present it. I don't announce it. But when I know what I know, I am speaking from a space of life as an initiate of Haitian Vodou, as a royale and working with close proximity to the royal palaces of Vodun in Benin in Africa. I am giving you truth and truth only. Now, let this be known, as I've said this for years now, truth and facts sound like hate to those that hate truth and facts. And this is exactly why those that live a false life, has no space here at Conjure South or near Conjure South, because you will be exposed. It's just the truth. So there's that. So that being said, let's get into Benin Vodun. Benin Vodun is the mother and father to all things Loa and Vodun. Okay, so any variation of Vodun or voodoo, etc., you are going to, it comes from this space. So Dayome, the kingdom of Dayome, is where Vodun is introduced to us. The Loa. The Loa, like the Orisha, not the same as the Orisha. So let me go ahead and make this part clear. One, are not the same. The Orisha are not aspects of the Loa. The Loa are not aspects of the Orisha. Ozulifoida is not Oshun. Lasaline is not Imoja or Yameya. Okay? It is important to understand and to know this. All right. I think I have a client. So give me. You see this today. So the thing is, you need to understand that the Loa and the Orisha are ancestral gods and goddesses, deities, entities, etc. They are ancestral, meaning they once walked this earth and elevated to these particular statuses. D'accord? Est-ce que vous comprenez? Très bien. So, this being said, you hear people, Ozuli Fueda and Oshun are the same. Put them on the same altar. Are you kidding me? Try it. Ilegwa and Papa Legwa are the same in the situation. Try it. Try it. They are not the same. They are not the same. Okay? For example, Izili Fueda of the Dayome, of the kingdom of Dayome, was the queen of Dayome. She's the only Loa in Vodun or Voodoo that carries the name of a kingdom, because she was the queen of that kingdom. Okay, she could not be the queen of her kingdom and Oshun at the same time. This is why there's like Oshun land and Shango land, etc., in these particular spaces, because these are the lands in which they walk, and these are truly their children in those spaces. All right, they are not the same at all. They are not the same. There are going to be goddesses around the world that is for love, but they're not in relation to each other or come from one or aspects of one. Okay? So understand and know that. The other thing is to understand that when it comes to traditional African religions, they are religions. I had some raggedy girl try to tell me that, no, these are traditions. I don't do religion. Just because your raggedy tail choose not to do religion does not make what you do not a religion, my love. If you are initiated into a religion, it is traditional African religion for a reason. There are structural concepts, constructs, ethics that make this, in fact, religion. This is why you get initiated. Okay? This is exactly why. Excuse me. I put on some music in the next room, and I think it's a little loud. Pardon moi. Y'all pray for me. I'm gonna get it together. It was a late night last evening. So anyways, as I was saying, this girl was like, oh no, because I don't do religion. It's not religion. No, it's absolute religion, which is why you have to get initiated. Which is exactly a main difference between the religions of Voduna and Vodou, etc., and Hoodoo. There is no initiation in Hoodoo outside of it being a part of your blood. Not your culture, your blood. That's a different conversation. Different conversation. So, you must be initiated into Vodun in Benin. You can't be initiated in Vodun in Haiti or Vodun in America. You must go to Benin. Now, when you travel across to the Western world after the transatlantic slave route, etc., you then have into the spaces of Haiti or Haiti that you may have heard. This is Haitian Vodou. Vodun, West African, Vodou, Haitian. What makes them different? Well, the things that makes them different, well, first of all, Haitian Vodou is a child of the mother and father of Vodun, okay? Haitian Vodou, however, constructs two particular, well, many nations, mais the two most clearly known are the Rada and the Patois. So in Benin, there's only the Rada. This is your Ozolifueda, Papa Legba, Papa Nabalabedo, Aidawedo, etc. In Haiti, you have the Patois. These ancestral Loa were the first in Haiti. Mama Bougie, Bawon Samdi, Ozulila Danto, etc. Okay? Also a difference is, one, how initiations go down. Two, VVs. You do not find VVs in West African Vodun. You don't find it there, but you will find it in Haiti because that's where it was born from. All right? So understand that aspect as well. Another thing that I must make very clear when it comes to these traditional African religions is, and I have made it clear already, that these are ancestral religions and spaces. These are not, oh, these are just spirits. These are just energy. Because a lot of the appropriators, a lot of you appropriators, okay, are quick to just go, oh, it's energy, so that it's all inclusive. Oh, it's just spirits. It's not. Try it. Which is why it is important to understand that when you open the door to any space of traditional African religion, that you absolutely should be seeing a particular demographic of people. You should. If you don't, you're not in the space. You're not in the space. I promise you. I promise you that. Vegan Loa. Girl, sit down. The next space in which we venture off to is, they say, oh, well, voodoo, Voodoo. This is American, but it's actually quite new in the spaces of the children of Vodun. Because before there was Voodoo, there was Vodun in America. Vodun. Straight off the boat from Africa to specifically the shores of Mobile, which is where I am. Mobile is actually the sister city to Benin, to Dahomey. They are sister cities, okay? Everything that happens in Mobile is normally conversed and communicated with Benin. Vodun was here. Vodun, all right? Understand that. Way before the Haitians came over, the Haitians did not bring Haitian Vodou here, and that's how it got here. Nope. Vodun was already here, number one. Number two, because of the Catholic influences here in the Gulf, you then were presented with voodoo, Voodoo. Please remember that Louisiana was a territory of Mobile for a while. So before you go and just say, oh, well, it started in New Orleans and Louisiana. No, ma chérie, it started in Mobile, okay? It started in Mobile. And once these territories broke away, they became, certain situations, all right? Now, the reason that you hear so much about New Orleans voodoo, Voodoo, is because their ports were different and larger in spaces. So a lot of light will shine there, but there's that. But I will tell you this, the most pure form of Vodun ended here in Mobile with the last known slave ship, the Clotilda, being brought here to the U.S. The purest form of Ifa, Vodun, that Congolese working, Gris, all of that was last laid to rest here in Mobile. And that is truth. That is historic fact. That is fact. Google it. Google it. Okay? Now, the next thing is to understand this, and this is where a lot of people don't like to go into, but it is the truth. The American Louisiana, not just New Orleans, but Louisiana voodoo, VOODOO, no longer exists. That is not by the way of what I feel and up in my feelings about things, no. The elders, the native elders, not the after Katrina elders, I'm saying the native elders up in their 70s, 80s, etc., will tell you what they're doing today ain't what we know. And the things that they know, they don't tell. And they didn't tell. A lot of those elders of true New Orleans voodoo, the last generation of them, were pretty much displaced and have pretty much died out since Katrina. And that is the truth. That is the truth. It doesn't matter that you are of Haitian descent and you come over until 2012, 2013, 2019, and come over and now because you're in New Orleans, this is voodoo. No, that's still voodoo. That's Haitian voodoo. There's that part. But understand that that is the truth of that. Today, I'm not going to get into what they're doing, but it's not VOODOO, which was once respected, very well respected, to be honest. But it's not that. Also, I want to let y'all know that Marie Laveau did not do voodoo. It was Gris. She practiced Gris. But people assume it's voodoo. It's like my great aunt who helped Willie Maxwell, the murderer here in our town. That was like, oh, she's doing voodoo and that's a voodoo preacher. Nope. And this is also in newspapers. Nope. It was voodoo and it was Gris. Is what we did. So, and Obia, because of my family's traditional lineage. But that's what we did. But anyways, there's that. Now let me go ahead and make this part clear. Voodoo is not hoodoo. Hoodoo is African American conjure. Aspects of our African religion, true African folk magic, and the heartbeat of it all is the Western colonial experience through the transatlantic slave route, period. This is not influences of this, is influence of that. Let me go ahead and clock this for you. The reason why the appropriators work so hard to tell you, oh, there's European influence or indigenous influence, and there's Spanish influence, and there's Italian influence, and da-da-da-da-da-da-da-da, is to make it all inclusive, and it's not. It's not that. It never has been. Hoodoo was created and formed within us. Because we are in a French-speaking space does not make it a French-influenced spiritual system. If you take Christianity to a Muslim country, it is not now Islam. Okay? It's not. And because we take our spirituality and we are placed in a French-speaking space or a Italian-speaking space or a Spanish-speaking space or whatever situation, does not make it influenced by that. I had one raggedy gal in Denver, Colorado, with a very well-known store, try to tell me, well, you know, Jews influence hoodoo by these kerosene lamps. Speaking of kerosene lamps, I will be doing a lamp service for the community service. Get your community service. Sunday's the last day. Service going on Monday. No, my love. We were already doing lamps. They didn't look like these kerosene lamps, but we were doing lamps in different ways. I also got to tell y'all, I have a lot of great rollouts for Country South coming up in October. So be ready. Some classes, some products. Keep your ear to the ground. Also, have you gotten your Roots and Roosters book? Have you got your Goofa dust? Have you got your Brick dust? You get those items if you order from our site Otherwise, you can just get the book right off of Amazon.com. But anyways, no, my love, Juice did not give us kerosene lamps. We already was doing lamp workings, but because we no longer had the resources of the particular items we used, we see that it's the same thing. Give me this glass container, I'm gonna do it with this. You did, see, when you influence something, this means I have contributed to. You did not contribute anything. Okay? There were no contributions to the culture. You oppressed the culture. You stole from the culture. You exploited the culture with your pharmacies and name things, whatever. You exploited, but this is not the influence. You did not contribute. There was no contribution. And I'm not just specifically talking to like the Jews, this particular girl that said this, but you do find this in a lot of the old Jewish pharmacies. This is just fact. This isn't trying to, these are facts. You see this in all the appropriator books that you read. Oh, this is European influence, European influence, European influence. No, you're doing this so that you are, so that you feel that you're no longer a gas and you have weight in a space in which you don't. And that's the truth. And this is why I always keep going back to you about culture, but you know, there's that. But hoodoo is African American conjure, African American conjure, African American conjure. Hoodoo is not conjure. They're not interchangeable, or they are, hoodoo is a type of conjure. There's multiple conjures. There's Jewish folk magic, whether you want to call it Kabbalah or something else. You have Italian Strega, you have Achin, you have Brujeria. These are different regions, different people, different civilizations, different communities. But conjure only means magic, folk spirituality, folk faith healing, etc. Okay, so understand that. But then you have African American conjure, which is hoodoo. All right, there are no gods in hoodoo. So when someone is telling you, I'm doing this hoodoo working or this hoodoo right with Papa Legba, you know they full of shit. You know they full of shit because there's no gods in hoodoo. There are no ethics in hoodoo. The only way to right a wrong is to right that wrong. There's not a what goes around comes around. This is not a thing either. So it's very important to understand this. It's very important to understand this, but it's also important to understand that you must be born with the ability to conjure hoodoo. This is magic. Traditional African religion is not magic. It was demonized as magic by a doctrine, but it's a religion. So that's just a little brief introduction. It doesn't even go really, really deep into everything, but that gives you some insight to what hoodoo is versus voodoo, voodoo, etc. You cannot be initiated in hoodoo. That is not a thing. That does not exist. You are not in hoodooism. You are appropriating from voodoo because you can be a voodooism, but calling yourself a hoodooism, you are appropriating the culture of Haitian voodoo. Shame on you. Shame. Anyways, my loves, this is it. This is it. I hope that you have enjoyed this. Many blessings. I will speak to you all soon. Get your community services. I hope to see you on Friday. Merci. Bisous, bisous.